What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are live. Here we go. Another episode of Make the Right Play, and by golly, it's a special one. We got breaking news right off the rip. Peace in the Middle East. It's here. We got a bunch of things to talk about. So many things are going on right now. But first and foremost, we got to welcome in the coach. We got the coach on my left. As always, we got your buoy behind the camera, making everything sound good for us, making everything work for us. And we are so grateful to have you, buoy. Shout out you, buoy media, for all your media needs in Pensacola. We got a million things going on. We got TikTok Live tonight. We got X is blowing up. We got YouTube. We got Rumble. We got the Yankees on the side here. We're trying to focus in on the Yankee game, fighting for our lives to stay in the playoffs. But oh my goodness, breaking news just within the hour here. President Trump announces peace in the Middle East. Peace between Hamas and Israel is here. Coach is shaking her head. She thinks no way there's going to be peace, but some people are happy. Some people are happy, allowed to be happy out here. But let's see what happens.
Like Trump said, can't you be positive? Remember when Netanyahu, when he said, they're willing to make a deal, and he goes, I don't believe it. He goes, can't you ever be effing positive? And he used the F word too.
Listen, sometimes you got to be positive in a negative world. And
it's true.
But a lot of people don't want to be positive today. Shout out to Coach. But
what do you mean, shout out to Coach?
Shout out to the coach. You don't think that there's going to be any peace in the Middle East. Trump says he's got peace. You say no way, and you don't seem too thrilled about it. Peace in Gaza.
Listen, I would be thrilled if they released the hostages and they could figure out how to get along. But let me tell you something. I have been living with this my whole life, and for some reason, the Jews and the Palestinians cannot figure it out, and they can't get along.
So President Trump tweeted out, or actually Truth Social, shout out Truth Social. I'm very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of our peace plan. This means that all hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed upon line as the first steps towards a strong, durable, and everlasting peace. All parties will be treated fairly. This is a great day for the Arab and Muslim world, Israel, and all surrounding nations, and the United States of America. And we thank the mediators from Qatar, Egypt, Turkey, who worked with us to make this historic and unprecedented event happen. Blessed are the peacemakers. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. So that's the official statement that just came out just a little under an hour ago.
Peacemakers.
Blessed are the peacemakers of the world, Coach. So as of right now, it feels that we have just a little bit of peace in this world currently. What do you think?
I think we should see. Well, we will see. That's what I think.
We shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
It's very tough because they can't figure out how to get along. And they're always fighting. So, God willing, they could figure out how to get along and things will be good. But I got to tell you, man, there's a lot of negativity going on. It's not just me.
No, there's a lot of negativity going on. There's just negative vibes all around, just with everything. And I think, this whole government shutdown and the divide between the two parties is more. It feels more prominent than ever, almost between the two parties. I mean, you just had a political assassination not too long ago. Now you have a government shutdown because one party wants to take care of one group of people rather than the other, and it's getting gross, Coach. It's getting gross, the divide in this country right now.
Well, you know something, Carlos. Today, something became very crystal clear to me.
What is that?
And I love Public Enemy. I grew up listening to Public Enemy, right? So I love the song Fight the Power, where it's like freedom of speech, freedom of death. We got to fight I just love that song, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a line in the song where he goes, people, we are the same. And then he goes, no, we're not the same because we don't know the game, right? So I always thought, that was a good rap, right? Good lyric.
Good lyric. Good quote.
But today, when that FBI guy, Comey,
yes,
right?
Yep.
He went to court today. They're waiting outside for him to have to come out of court. They put him in some kind of tunnel. He disappeared like Houdini. He just poof. They didn't see him go in. They didn't see him go out. Yep. We didn't see a walk of shame.
Yep.
We saw nothing. And for the first time, that line became so crystal clear to me where it's no, we're not the same because we don't know the game.
Yeah.
And that's when I said there is a ruling class in this country, and the ruling class gets to go to court, and nobody gets to see them walk in and out of the courtroom like everybody else. Even Trump, you had to see walk in and out of the courtroom.
Yeah,
okay?
mugshot.
You saw the mugshot.
Yep.
And he was a president.
Yeah.
But an FBI director is part of the deep state. Mm-hmm. He's part of the ruling class. And it just became so apparent to me how we really don't know how the game is played in this country. And it goes beyond whether you're white or black. This is about who is in the ruling class and who isn't.
Yeah.
And I mean, it really got me a little annoyed because I got so excited to see him having to do the walk, and I got gypped the walk.
No, he didn't do anything.
No.
Honestly, to be honest with you, I had no idea he even was in court today. Like, there was no media press coverage about it. I opened up the New York Times this morning, and there was that one article, or not the New York Times, excuse me, the New York Post. I never read the New York Times.
I know, I was going to say,
the New York
excuse me.
Post, and there was not one article about James Comey going into court today.
Well, he went
Not
into
one.
court today, and I guess he had to surrender, right? Because
Right.
he is being charged with a crime, a
Yeah.
felony, actually, a
Yeah.
felony.
A felony.
So
A felony
when
is
you
a felony.
read
Is a
Peter
felony.
Navarro's book, right?
Yep.
It's a misdemeanor, and they arrested him at the airport, put shackles on him, brought him into prison.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy's getting charged with a felony, and you don't even get to see him going in and out of court.
Nope.
They put him through some kind of tunnel. And that's when I was like, this is the ruling class.
It
That's
is the
what
ruling
it is.
class.
It's the
You're
ruling
100%
class.
right. It is the ruling class. Absolutely. And it's just disgusting to show the disparity between the two, I guess, groups of people, because even the president of the United States had to do a full perp walk, full mug shot, fingerprints, do the whole thing. And then this jerk off.
Giuliani, America's mayor.
Yeah, America's mayor.
America's
Jail.
mayor, Giuliani. I mean, it's just so unfair how people get treated so differently in this country.
It's really true.
And I
It's
mean,
really
that's
true.
why we got to get smart. It's us against them, and we got to stop letting them divide us. Like, they're dividing us, the working class people, and the ruling class are laughing their butts off the whole time.
Coach, you're feeling the divide.
I am totally feeling the divide.
feeling the divide.
I'm totally feeling the divide. You know what also pisses me off too is seeing these Antifa things.
Oh my gosh, the Antifa, and it's funny because we even talked about it last week. We're like, oh, we're not even going to talk about it last week because it almost felt like it'll probably just go away on its own type of thing, and it's just becoming worse and worse. It feels like.
Carlos, you have to show video. Booby, can we show video 12 Portland live on the streets?
All right, let's show live on the
Because you have to really
streets.
see some of this to believe it. It's ridiculous.
Look at this.
So they'll complain about ICE having a mask, right?
Right.
But these people can throw stuff
Yep.
and they can be completely covered up from head to toe.
Yep.
You know why? They probably work for the ruling class.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet they work for the ruling class and they actually work for Satan? And they're
Probably.
here to spread chaos and confusion.
Well, they're all getting paid. They're all getting paid. And Trump actually had an Antifa roundtable this afternoon. And he even said, he's like, we're going to release everything about these people. We're going to talk about exactly who's funding these organizations. These are all people getting paid. And, we have to expose it from the root.
Yeah.
Like it's a root. And somebody has planted these seeds and is allowing these trees to grow. And it's time to get after it.
Well, because it's the ruling class people trying to control us. And the
Yeah.
easiest way to control us is to divide us. Because if we all united together and started to fight them, they wouldn't stand a chance.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bowie, let's show video 13 because this one is where the protesters are fighting.
Yeah. Getting right in the officer's face.
Look at this little girl.
I know. Look how small she looks, too.
So disrespectful.
You can be more than a political pawn. Stand down today. If you are a true patriot,
Look
if
at
you
all
are a
the
true
masks that they're
American,
wearing.
you will stand down today. America was founded on the backs of immigrants.
I mean, did anybody love that girl when she was a child?
Yeah.
Like, who says, let me go out and just be complete? Like, did anybody ever love that lady?
You gotta hope. But honestly, though, you know what that drives me nuts?
What?
Is that line? The America was founded on the backs of immigrants.
It wasn't. It was settlers.
But at the same time, too, this is a totally
Settlers and slaves.
This is a totally
That's who-
different thing, though. This is
Listen,
totally
Carlos,
different.
I'm sorry, but there's a difference when you settle a country and it's wilderness and you come and you build a city and you build towns and you're dealing with the elements than when you come and everything's already set up. The
Yes,
table's already set.
but
The
I agree-
building's
I
already
agree with
built.
that.
The
I
church
agree
is
with
already
that.
built. The
Yes.
schools are already built. I'm sorry.
I
You
agree with
cannot
that.
compare the two.
But the immigrants of before also had to, earn their citizenship.
Well, there was no welfare. There was no free
Right.
Medicaid. There wasn't. You can go to the emergency
Exactly,
room.
and half of them fought, Civil War. The Irish
yeah, the
immigrants.
Irish,
Like
as
there
soon as
was
they got off
was
the boat.
tons of you had to earn it in. And these people now, they come in and they're getting handed $10,000 EBT cards and free rent and a car and a social security number and a credit line. Like they're getting all these things handed to them, free health care, which is why the government is shut down, because the Democrats would rather give free health care to these people than take care of the people who are sitting on the side of the road right now. Like that's the truth, guys. That's actually what's happening right
it's
now.
the votes. They want power.
Well, they want the votes. We talk about it every week. We talk about it every week.
Power.
Yeah, we talk about it
Well,
every week.
here, let's go to video 5, because the man in Chicago is really unhappy with the way that the politicians are behaving.
Yeah.
Black people in Chicago, let's get this clear for the record so nobody is confused, right? In 2020 and 2021, when Democrats, specifically Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, flooded Chicago with the illegal, undocumented criminal invaders, y'all didn't have nothing to say about that, right? When the mayor, Lori Lightfoot, gave them benefits, millions, prepaid EBT cards with $10,000 on it, prepaid Visa cards, 6 months worth of free rent, free health care, free child care. Y'all were okay with that. Now that ICE is there to actually do something about it, right? With Trump's mandate, now you all are boohoo, whining and crying, complaining that ICE is coming to black neighborhoods. What the hell is wrong with y'all? Where else are they supposed to go when that's where y'all allowed them to go? You see, Democrats didn't put these illegals in Oak Brook or Oak Park or Evanston, in any of the white neighborhoods, yet you got the white liberals downtown protesting to keep those people there because they know that they're in black neighborhoods.
And that's the truth.
That's
the truth right there. And we talk about it all the time because coming from Brantford and in Guilford and in Madison, those whites were the first people to put a Black Lives Matter thing right on their thing.
I know.
Right? They're the first people to support the illegals, bring all the illegals in, right? Bust these kids in. And then the minute somebody of a minority moves into their neighborhood, it's like, oh shit, what's going on? What's going on? That's the truth.
Move in. I remember the white people used to get mad when they would have them bust in from New Haven.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh my
They would
gosh,
bring
can
them
you
in from
believe that?
outside.
And I was like, yeah, and like, this is the way that I look at it. You live in Florida, it is completely you got to turn off the Yankee game.
Oh,
There's
my
no
gosh.
way that I can concentrate watching. He has
We
the
gotta
Yankee
have it
game
on. We gotta have it on a little bit.
He has the Yankee game on. He literally has the Yankee game on. How are we going to concentrate with the Yankee game on?
I'm concentrated. I'm concentrated. We got to have it on,
No,
Coach. We're playing for a playoff spot right now.
We're fighting for this country right now. We're fighting for our country.
We're fighting for our country. All right.
Just give
never
us
mind.
updates with the scores, please, viewers. But the thing is that it is completely segregated. But it's segregated in such a way where that's the ruling class people, where they live in their rich suburbs in Connecticut, where they settled it back in 1644, and they only let their own people live in those areas.
Yep.
So then they'll have illegals come in, and what do? They put them in the black neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
And they filled their schools with a bunch. I mean, how many
Correct.
teachers were suffering? Because all of a sudden they had like 30 new students suddenly.
A lot.
Like, it was just such a problem. He's mad at me now.
A lot.
You notice the attitude I'm getting?
A lot.
Because he can't watch the Yankee game while we're doing the show.
Game 4.
We can. So do you want to cancel
Game
the
4.
show?
No. I'm able to peek at the score and be fine.
That was watching the game.
Be fine.
That was watching the game. I would like to see how you would feel if all of a sudden I put the game on right in your face while you were trying to make an important point.
You told me to have it on today. You said we're going to have the Yankee game on while we do the show. True or false?
True.
That's right. So settle down over there. Like, enough is enough.
But I forgot how distracting
True.
it is.
Like, come on. Like, give me a break.
I forgot how distracting it is. Well, anyway, let's listen to the Chicago mayor when he's asked about the illegal problem.
Right. What he would do.
Number 4, you buoy.
The real Chicagoans that I talk to, that I communicate with, mostly black and brown, actually, tell me that you don't seem to know the difference between illegal aliens and real Chicago citizens. They feel that you are siding with the illegal aliens over them in their communities. And sadly,
William, let's get to the question.
Let's get to the question. The real question is simply this. I don't know how to make it any more direct. An illegal alien from Nicaragua grabbed a woman on the north side
Is
last
a question?
week, bashed her head into the sidewalk, knocked her unconscious, and raped her. If that had been your wife, Stacey.
Okay, all right, we're not going to answer it. Thank you. Thanks, William.
All right.
Would you want ICE to deport her?
All right.
To
Let's
deport that
move on.
Yes or no?
Let's move on.
Answer the question as a man, not as mayor, but as a man. Would you want
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
ICE to deport that rapist?
All right.
Completely ignored the question in its
Well,
entirety.
he doesn't want to have to answer that question.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to say, oh, the reason why I have tren de agua, right? Tren de agua here in Chicago is because of A, B, and C.
Well, because he's getting a bunch of money on the back burner is why he has them all in Chicago. I mean, that's the truth.
Absolutely.
He's getting a lot of kickbacks from the government to have all these illegals in there, and it baffles me like that the communities that, like you said, are housing all of these people wouldn't want them to be like, yeah, let's get them out, because that creates more housing, that creates more opportunities for those who are in your community.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, get these people out, so that way, my brother who I'm living with could get a house, or I can get my mom a house or somewhere to stay. Like, that's the thing. And I don't understand why people are so against supporting an American first before taking care of somebody else. Listen, like I've said it a million times, I'm all for taking care of people. I'm all for helping the other man. But like, you got to be able to take care of the people that are in your country first before you take care of somebody else.
Well, it's a matter of supply and demand,
Right.
Because you need to make sure that you have the infrastructure to
Correct.
accommodate
Yep.
people who are coming into your community.
Yeah, 100%.
There was a good video on, let's go to video number 7.
Okay.
That discusses part of the problem and to why the Republicans are fighting the illegals getting health care.
Yeah.
Public hospitals in New York City, a quarter of the patients are now migrants. Over the last year, nearly 30,000 visits by migrants and 300 new babies born to migrant moms. Staff here at Bellevue Hospital tell us they're eager to help, but the numbers are tough.
Yeah, the numbers are tough.
Well, that's the thing. I grew up in New York. Bellevue was my hospital.
Yeah.
So the thing is all of a sudden you have all these people coming in. You don't have enough beds ready to deliver babies. Like, you have a certain number of beds because you have it to support your community. Well, just like the schools.
You're 100% right. And you know what else goes into that too? And I want to show clip 22 also, because it also shows, you're not able to invest in the infrastructure. You're not able to invest in the hospital and make it even better. You're not able to invest in the technology that you need because you're spending all this money on the illegals who, most of them, don't have health care or have health insurance or have the means to pay these health bills.
No, they go to the emergency room. They go to the emergency room even if they have a throat problem, and they get free health care. That's what happens.
Correct.
So if you go to an emergency room now and you have an emergency, the problem is that it's filled with illegals because they can't deny them health care.
Yeah.
And they don't want to say the truth, but that's what the big problem is.
Right.
It's that they're all going in, oh, I have a cough. Oh, I have a cold. And it's like, yeah, because they don't have a primary care physician.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Let's go clip 22 here.
Every 4 migrants that has come to Denver Health for health care, on average for about 2.5 visits. So we saw 20,000 visits last year that we attribute to the migrant population. That's a lot of care that we weren't planning on giving.
Not planning for those people to come in, and as he mentioned, they're coming in for maybe routine care. It's a trend across the country. Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services says nationally in 2021, emergency services for someone who was undocumented patients, that totaled around $7 billion. The following year, $5.4 billion. Wow. And national statistics show that undocumented immigrants are less likely to have any type of insurance or even pay, up to 60%.
We can't invest in the things that many other hospitals invest in. During the cold spell, we just had a pipe burst and we had to take some beds out of operation. Had we been able to invest in that building, we might not have seen, that happen.
Yeah, Colorado, what a surprise. They're all on pot. They're all brain dead in that state. That's why they're like, oh, just kept letting in the illegals. We're so nice. Let me put on Netflix and smoke another joint. Yeah. Seriously.
It's true.
I mean, it's like these people don't have a brain.
They don't. They don't have a brain at all. And you're 100% right. And, like just what we were talking about, you have to be able to support and be able to help the people that are in your country first and be able to, financially be able to do it. I mean, $12.4 billion in 2 years on illegals, like that's some bullshit. Honestly, like that's some BS. That's where that money's going. Honestly.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that's great. Remember when everybody was putting down the tariffs?
Yes.
When everybody said, oh my
Can't
gosh,
have
the tariffs, they're going to cost us everything. They're going to ruin the economy. Inflation's going to go through the roof.
Yep.
Well, because of this government shutdown that we're having, because the Democrats need to support the illegals,
right?
There was a threat to WIC. Well, let's show number 21, you buoy.
As promised, breaking moments ago, more than $200 billion coming into the coffers in tariffs, and now we're learning where some of that money will go. The White House has just announced that the Women and Children Food Program will not be cut off while the government is shut down.
How
not
awesome
be shut
is
down,
that?
Not be shut off, Coach.
How awesome!
Not be shut off. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, that's great. Like, and
who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought that Trump's tariffs would save WIC? So that way mothers and children have money for
Trump
food.
thought that. That's why I put in the tariff.
And the thing is,
So
why
we gotta
isn't, why isn't that all over the news?
Because that's a positive.
Nobody
That's a
wants to
positive.
report it. Nobody wants to say, hey, you know what? We have some good news. Trump's tariffs actually helped during the government shutdown, and women and children are still getting their benefits.
Yeah.
No, they don't want to give him credit for anything.
Right.
They do not want to get, because he's not part of the ruling class. Because we're not the same. We don't know the game.
We're not the same. We don't know the game.
We don't know the game. We're not the same. We have to stop fighting with each other and start coming at a common sense approach and say, you know what? That's true. Trump's tariffs actually helped during the government shutdown. I think I need to give this guy a little credit. Why do the Democrats hate him so much?
Right.
Because they only care about power.
Yeah.
And honestly,
That's
they
true.
have nobody up the pike to come and be a leader.
No, they don't. They don't
They're
have anybody.
pathetic
They can't
party,
even get a
to be
leader for their
honest.
own state, to be honest. Did you see that pig in California?
Oh my gosh. All right.
Oh
so
my gosh.
I don't know if you know about this woman. Her name is Katie Porter.
Katie Porter.
But I call her the pig in California.
Yeah. Listen,
So
it's like
she
Rosie
was-
O'Donnell-esque.
Even worse.
Even worse than
Even
Rosie
worse,
O'Donnell.
man.
Even
so
worse.
This lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess they must have term limits, so Gavin Newsom can't be governor again. So she's running in the primary to become governor, and they would like doing this interview.
Yeah.
You boy, let's show number 19.
Let's show it.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're thinking.
In a general election, yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case. Represented a purple area. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't
I
think
feel
you
like
need
this
them
is
to win.
unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
And the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it.
You know what she's saying?
Thank you.
You know what she's saying?
You're not
she's
gonna
saying
do the
F
interview.
the Trump
Nope,
voters.
not like this. I'm not. Not with
That's what
7
she's
follow-ups to
saying.
every single
That's what she's saying. She's like, F the Trump voters. Who cares about the Trump voters? I'm not here for the Trump voters.
That is what she's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
These people are sick. They don't care about everybody in their communities.
They don't care about everybody.
Sure,
No.
I bet you anything she'd be out there yelling at ICE with a mask on,
Yeah.
so we wouldn't even know it's her. And she'd be yelling at ICE, but for a fellow American,
Fuck
F
that.
them.
Yeah,
I don't
we're
need them
good.
at all.
We're good.
But these people are so sick.
They are.
That you
They're
have
disgusting.
to hear on number 20. Listen to the very beginning of it.
Allegation of groomer and pedophile. It is alleging that a person is criminal somehow and engaged in criminal acts merely because of their identity. their sexual orientation, their gender identity. So this is clearly prohibited under Twitter's content, yet you found hundreds of these posts on the platform.
This lady can't even fight for children.
I mean, that's if you're a pedophile, you're automatically a criminal because of your identity. But because being a pedophile isn't an identity. Like that's
it's
bullshit.
criminal behavior. It's
Yeah.
disgusting. It's like we should chop your dick off, to be honest
Correct,
with you.
Coach.
And I have no problem saying that.
You got to be
If you're a
careful though.
pedo,
Candace
you should-
Owens is going to come after you for that.
For what?
Remember, she was. We watched her show today. She was going after for somebody saying you need to be publicly executed. She may go after you because he said you need to get your dick chopped off.
Yeah, if you're a pedo, you should have your dick chopped off.
You got to be a little careful there. We don't want her to come after the show.
Listen, Candace Owens has so many problems right now.
He's
She's really
got a
going off
lot.
the deep end a little bit.
Yeah.
I have to say, okay, so we're talking about the whole government divide and everything.
Yeah.
So Candace Owens is kind of exposing Turning Point.
A little bit. Yeah.
And saying that actually she thinks it's kind of an inside job with Jewish donors as to who may have killed Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
And she presented a text and said that in this text, well, you know what? Why don't we have her say it in her own words?
Well, she doesn't say it in her own words.
She doesn't say it in her own
no,
words?
she says that she is in fear for her life
Right.
because of how much she's, revealing to the
Well, because
population.
Charlie Kirk said that he was thinking about bringing Candace Owens on board again.
Yes, he was.
And then, that's probably why they killed him.
Man, that
Because,
could be.
if you bring Candace on, my
Well,
gosh, all bets are
and
off.
because he was becoming anti-Israel.
Listen,
Because it
I gotta
always
be
relates
honest with
back to
you.
the Jews.
Yeah, when in doubt,
When in
right?
doubt.
When in doubt.
When in doubt, it's always
go
the
after
Jewish.
Israel. But I have to tell you, I don't think that's the case.
I don't think it's the case either.
You know what I think, honestly? I think that Charlie Kirk stopped them from stealing the election this time. And that's why they killed him. And I think the same people who tried to kill Trump are the people who killed Charlie Kirk.
You think so?
It is the
Same
deep
group?
state ruling class people. That's what I believe. Because when, Michael Savage used to always say, it's not who votes, it's who counts the votes. And in 2020, they were able to fool everybody and say that Joe Biden won that election.
Right.
And it was a big lie if you said anything different. So what did Charlie Kirk do? He got all the registration. So he knew, he called the election by like 9 o'clock at night when, it was 1 o'clock in the morning for the mainstream media? Because he would say there were 125,000 registered voters, 75,000 votes went for Trump. Trump won that district. It's over. He had the numbers. He was able to stop the steal. There was no way that they were going to be able to say that Trump lost that election.
Yeah.
And that was him, and his whole Turning Point organization went and had a huge grounds game.
Yeah.
And when you're
He did it with Laura Trump, right? Wasn't that the person he did it with?
He did it with Laura Trump, the
Yeah.
RNC. But when he was coming back with the returns, he was like, okay, in this district, they have 75,000 registered voters, 56,000 came in. These are for Trump. They can't, that's it. He won the district. Like he had all the numbers for voter registration, what the votes were, and there's no way they could steal an election now.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I believe they killed Charlie Kirk. That's honestly what I believe.
So you're not
believe
feeling
it
the
was
Jews.
Tyler. I don't believe it was a tranny. I do not believe it was the Jews. And listen, Candace, no offense, honey, but you were doing the Justin Baldoni, the lady has a vagina, but she was really a man. What was that?
Macron.
Macron. She was doing
Yes,
Macron. She was
Brigitte.
doing Justin Baldoni, Blake
Yeah.
Lively. I mean, Candace, don't get me wrong. I think you're great. I love watching your show.
But she was out of the
it's
game.
not reason for the Jews are going to say, let's go kill Charlie Kirk because he's going to be with Candace Owens again. I mean, give me a break. However, the deep state saying, we couldn't steal the election this time.
Yeah.
This guy has the whole system figured out. We're not going to be able to rig another election. He did it nationwide. He'd go and do it for smaller local elections next time.
Yeah.
He'd be able to get the vote. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be having that kind of power and skill set, because he was a big nerd. The
He was
guys
a
counting the
huge
votes were
nerd,
big
yeah,
nerds.
totally.
So you're watching him doing the returns,
Yep.
and I think they were like, we need to stop this guy.
Right.
And that's honestly why I believe they killed.
So
Charlie Kirk.
you're feeling no Jew involvement at all.
I think that they're becoming the fall guy for everything. When in doubt, blame the Jews.
When in doubt. When in
That's
doubt.
what I
Old
think.
school- that's an old school
when it's
method.
time to blame someone, let's just,
Yeah.
blame the Jews.
Right.
That's honestly
Christ
how
killers.
I feel.
Yeah.
And I feel like Candace has axe to grind with them for whatever reason. And
Right.
I love her show, but I do think it's a little...
What's the T? Hey, T.
Hey, T.
Yeah, no, I think you're 100% right. And honestly, that Michael Savage line, it's not who
It's not
counts
who
the
votes.
votes.
It's who counts the votes.
That has never been a truer line.
Yeah.
Ever. Because that person who is counting the votes has such a high power where you can really just manipulate the direction of an entire country.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can manipulate the entire direction of how a country is going to go.
Well, think about it. In Connecticut, a Republican would be winning, and then a city would come in, and then all of a sudden the Democrats would win.
Listen, I'll never forget that steal of Bob Stefanowski against Ned Lamont, the first term of Ned Lamont, when Bob Stefanowski was blowing him out the door. Like it was a beatdown of all time.
Yeah.
And I went to bed at 2 a.m. and I woke up at 5:30 a.m. Rook buddy me woke up at 5:30 a.m. the next day and looked, and Ned Lamont had won by like 50,000 votes. I was like, that's some bullshit.
I know.
I will never forget that. That was the all-time steal. All-time steal. Oh, top of the fifth, Toronto 2, New York Yankees 1. That sucks.
Oh, gosh.
That sucks.
Well,
Not happy
you know
with
what?
that.
Don't give up hope, because look what happened yesterday.
Right, a lot of baseball left.
Yeah, we still have a lot of baseball left.
Not a baseball left.
But, I mean, you could see we're distracted tonight because of the New York Yankees. I mean, honestly, listen, that home run yesterday was so exciting.
It was.
It really was an exciting home run.
The game changed, though, when the third baseman dropped the ball.
Yeah.
That was the change of the game. The third baseman dropped the ball, and from there on, it was the Yankees game.
And that home run by Judge.
Yeah. Oh, the home run by Judge, absolutely. That was his Yankee moment. Finally earned his pinstripes. It only took forever, but he earned it. El Capitan. But, I mean, that third baseman dropping the ball when it was 2 outs, and you could have been out of that inning, giving up nothing, and then that just opened the doorway, and it was all over from there.
It totally did.
It was totally all over from there.
So sorry for a little distracted tonight. But one thing that I have to say that was a big story yesterday was Jack Smith getting caught spying on Republicans.
That was a huge story. That was a huge story.
And that's another thing the mainstream media doesn't want to cover. It should be a headline everywhere you look, is that Jack Smith was spying on members of Congress and the Senate for no reason. Why? Because they're the opposition party?
Because they're the opposition
party. They're not part of the uniparty? They're not 100%. Part of the ruling class?
Well, I will say Lindsey Graham, I would say, is a part of the uniparty, but he was on that list. He was on that FBI document of somebody who was getting spied on. But, I mean, listen, this story, more is going to come out because I don't think this is something that Dan Bongino is going to let go. So, and I trust Dan Bongino. I honestly trust Dan Bongino more than I trust Kash Patel, to be honest. But Dan Bongino, I think, is going to really go hard on the story and just go after them. 100%.
Well, let's go to number 17, Yaboui.
Let's go to 17.
Solicitation of these telephone records, which I think emphasizes the political weaponization that was behind all this effort. And
a timeline of this. I think you've already got the FBI sheet that shows the number of members of Congress that were targeted. This doesn't surprise me, but it should shock every American of what the Biden administration has done. And by the way, this is the first time I was targeted by the FBI. Under the Obama administration, the same thing happened to both Senator Grassley and I as part of the Foreign Influence Task Force. We were giving a briefing to try and convince us that the Hunter Biden laptop was no big deal. Basically, trying to throw us off the track. So this is major corruption.
It is major corruption. I'm telling you, this story, there's going to be a lot that's coming out over the next couple of days with this story because they pick and choose what they're going to want to go after, and they brushed over Hunter Biden's laptop like it was nobody's business. If you ask somebody today, oh, remember Hunter Biden's laptop? They're going to tell you no.
It was misinformation.
Right, yeah.
It was misinformation.
Speaking of which, we just got kicked off of TikTok Live, said that we're spreading misinformation.
That's fine. Well, listen, everywhere you look,
unbelievable.
The Democrats are trying to claim that Trump is deploying troops in order to cancel the 2028 election. That's new narrative now.
That's crazy town.
It's completely crazy, but that's the new narrative now. They don't want to talk about the judicial warfare that was going on, attacking Republicans. They don't want to talk about why I really believe Charlie Kirk was killed. And then Candace Owens even said, oh, how come Trump didn't find out who really Candace, he doesn't even know who tried to kill him.
Right. You think he's going to just be able to just find
honestly,
out?
it's a mystery. Think about it. They literally tried to assassinate Donald Trump. It was out of the news in like 2 or 3 days.
Easily. Like quick. Like
Right?
just out.
I mean, there is something so nefarious going on.
Yeah.
Where it's really, you got to really think about it and say, let me use some common sense and try to figure out what is true,
Yeah.
what is real,
Yep.
and who benefits from these things happening.
You're 100% right.
Right?
You're 100% right. You got to
Who's
follow.
benefiting?
You got to follow the trail of the money. The money will lead you back to where the seed is planted. That's where, like, you have to find it. And I mean, that is somebody they're going to have to hire a bunch of nerds. They should bring in, that Charlie Kirks team that they can count all the votes. They got to find
Candace,
the money.
They're a bunch of crooks.
I don't know about that. That one guy I think is a little bit of a crook. I can't remember his name, but
They said it was like 100 million, 150 million that he turned down to be
from
propaganda
the Jews though. But that you see, I don't know about the whole blaming the Jews on this one. I can't get on board with that.
They did buy TikTok, and they did.
Well, they bought the ad deal on TikTok. Yeah, the $45 million ad deal. Yeah, that was a little bit of a stretch. But I think the Jews will always spread the propaganda. I think that's just what they're going to do. But I don't think that they would slaughter Charlie Kirk over it. I don't think that's in Netanyahu's bag of tricks.
I don't think he killed Charlie Kirk. I seriously
don't think so.
I searched my feelings. I really think it was a deep state because they were very upset about Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, they were upset about helping in the election.
Yeah.
But you know what they were upset the most is the influence on the young people. That's why I'm telling you.
I think he is influential, but I think it was the fact that he had the same equipment as the mainstream media. He had all the voter registrations. If you can't steal an election, and you know that the Democrats are famous for stealing elections, if you can't steal another election, that's a lot of power.
Yeah.
That's a lot of power. And I think that him going to that level, like really leveling up, and the globalists, I think we're in on it too. Like there's some kind of nefarious ruling class globalist agenda. And I think the same people who tried to kill Trump were the same people who killed Charlie Kirk.
We'll have to see. I think more is going to come with that investigation
the FBI
too.
story is not holding up. It is not holding up.
It's gross.
So we're going to have to get another story eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. Too many angles of the videos too.
Yes,
there's
because
too
so many people
angles.
have cell phones.
Yeah, there's too many angles of the videos not matching.
Yeah.
Like,
and they said that the original video that they showed, that was probably an exit wound.
Yeah, the hole in the front of his neck. Yeah.
I mean, so you have Trump trying to protect American citizens, and all they do is go after him about it. So yesterday, they tried to say that Trump is, weaponizing the Department of Justice.
Weaponizing the DOJ, of course.
So Pam Bondi, let's go to video 10. Let's see how she takes this.
Yeah, Chairman, as you shut down the government, you voted to shut down the government, and you're sitting here, our law enforcement officers aren't being paid. They're out there working to protect you. I wish you loved Chicago as much as you hate President Trump. And currently, the National Guard are on the way to Chicago. If you're not going to protect your citizens, President Trump will.
Great line. Great line. If you're not going to do it, I'll do it. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. If you're not going to do it, I'll do it. Fine. I'll get the National Guard involved because you're such a joke of a city that you took all the money out of the police department and you want to let the police handle it. So I'll just do it myself. That's basically what he's saying.
And then they, let a bunch of illegals run roughshod all over the black communities.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't care.
Yes.
Like the guy said before, the rich white liberal women are going back to their beautiful houses with their beautiful lawns, living large, having a great time. And then, let the regular people deal with the crap.
Right.
Because they're part of the ruling class of Chicago.
Yep.
Well, one of my favorite things that Pam Bondi did yesterday is when she stepped to Richard Blumenthal.
Oh, shout out to Richard Blumenthal,
because he was our senator
Senator.
in Connecticut. So let's go to video 1 just to
Big
old
Dick.
time's sake.
Dick Blumey.
Longtime backer and head of the law firm where you worked, was instrumental in lobbying the Justice Department to drop that lawsuit. It was dismissed, so it's not subject to a court review. What conversation did you have with Mr. Ballard?
Senator Blumenthal, I cannot believe that you would accuse me of impropriety when you lied about your military service.
I am
you
not
lied.
asking
You
you.
admitted you
I am
lied
not
to be
accusing you
elected
of
a U.S. senator.
impropriety.
You
I'm asking
lied.
you
How
about
dare you? I'm a
conversations
career prosecutor.
with
Don't
Mr.
you
Ballard,
ever challenge my integrity.
had
I have
apparently-
abided by every ethics standard. Do not question my ability to be fair and impartial as Attorney General, and anything
You'll
with
answer that
my
question to
former
another of my
firm,
colleagues.
Ballard Partners.
Thank you.
You know what?
Sit
I
down,
have
Dick.
to say, only in Connecticut could you have stolen valor and still be elected a senator.
Ma, you have a state congressperson who has like 8 DUIs and flipped a car in Hartford and is still sitting in her seat.
It's true.
I
Well,
mean, come on. You could do anything in Connecticut. You could shoot somebody
if
in the
you have
corner
a D,
and still win.
If you have a D next to your name.
Right,
But what's
true.
the T said? Apparently he was changing his stance on them. The group text message was pretty revealing. That's my opinion. I agree with you. It was revealing. And I do think he was losing a lot of money. And I do think the people within his organization were disgusted.
Yeah.
Because I think they wanted to have money. However, I feel that the deep state would kill you over a bigger reason, like Trump becoming president upsets the apple cart. Charlie Kirk figuring out how to stop them from stealing elections really upsets the apple cart.
Yeah,
So
would agree.
I feel like that's such a, that really raises the stakes. More than just like bad-mouthing Israel is we're not going to be able to steal another election again. Charlie Kirk has figured out the way to count the votes.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. And the reason why I don't believe that Israel really was involved with it, because, I mean, if Israel wanted to go and just full on invade Gaza and slaughter all those people, they would do it. Like, they would just straight up do it. And I don't think Charlie Kirk saying, you can't do that, that's wrong, would stop them from doing that. I think they would just go and do it. So I don't think that the disagreement on a public platform is enough to kill him off. I think if they were going to do something of that scale, they would just do it anyway. I don't know. I don't see Israel's involvement here big time.
Israel buries people.
Yeah.
They're professional. I mean, look what they did to Kanye West. When you really think about it, Kanye West
Kanye
was a
West.
superstar, right? So I think they could have taken on Charlie Kirk if they really wanted to. However, when it comes to counting the votes, I don't think people really have an appreciation for how Charlie Kirk might have saved this country this past election. Because I remember you and your father, they were standing in the kitchen and they were so depressed. Me, I've been hearing about it for a few months, how Charlie Kirk had this whole thing and he had all the same things that the media had and they weren't going to be able to steal the election this time. So I was watching the returns with him on X. So when I came into the kitchen, I was in a great mood, and Dad was like, it doesn't look good. And I said, what are you talking about? You got to put Charlie Kirk on. He's counting the votes. He called North Carolina hours before the mainstream media did.
Yeah.
Because
He
he
did.
had the voter registrations, he had the vote count, he knew.
Yeah.
And they were on their computers, and they were like scrapulating the data. Remember, like
They
they
were
were like
trying.
scrapulating the data, the whole, like that's how they were when you were watching it. It was just
It was
surreal.
intense. It was an intense
Yeah,
group.
and he called it hours earlier, and I really think that he doesn't get enough credit for actually but I think Trump gave him credit.
Trump did give him credit, big time.
You know, I think Trump said like RFK, Charlie Kirk, and and Elon Musk are the three people who really got him to back in the White House.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Top
all three of
three.
them were getting it done.
Yeah.
All three of them were getting it done. And shout out RFK. RFK doesn't get enough appreciation. I don't know if you saw it. I think it was Walmart said that they're taking out all foods that have artificial dyes in the food, like they're going to
that
remove
would
them
be
from their
great.
shelves.
That
I
would
was
be
like, wow, like RFK like is just doing his thing and getting things done in the background. Obviously, of course, the media, they'll never give any credit to anything Trump's cabinet ever does, but he just keeps operating in the background and getting things done, and you know he's going to try to make America healthy again. Shout out Maha. A little plug. There. Speaking of health, Coach, you said you want to give a little shout out tonight
Yes,
for
I did.
Osteo Strong.
So right now I'm going through this called perimenopause. So
Why
it's
don't you
like when you're
elaborate?
doing
Tell
the
us
change of life.
what's going on with perimenopause.
Well, today I woke up and I was very tired. Last night it hit me. I was feeling good, and then all of a sudden I just it was like I hit a brick wall.
Yeah.
And, somebody said, oh, maybe it was the full moon. It was probably hormonal. So today I was like, no, I got to grind. I got to get to the gym. I
Yep.
went to the gym, And I was exhausted. Even a woman at the gym comes up to me, you need to take a nap. You look really tired. You're not at your usual level. And I was like, okay. So I go to Osteo Strong.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, this is another thing the pharmaceutical companies have been keeping from the American people. I used a biocharger, and it gives you, it was invented by Tesla. And it gives you like these energy fields. So it's like, and these bright lights. And all of a sudden, I had energy again. And it brings your inflammation down. Yeah, we have it in the opening. Like you'll see the biocharger. It's just like this little machine, and Tesla invented it. But the thing is that the pharmaceutical companies kind of nixed him, and they drove him into the ground. I think they made Tesla bankrupt because, like, you could cure strep throat with this thing. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
Yes, they have a recipe for even strep throat.
That's unbelievable.
I once had a cold. I went in with the biocharger. My cold went away after like 10 minutes.
You'd think they'd use it for the big bad COVID.
Well, I don't know
Think it would cure COVID with that biocharger?
I moved down here in 2021, and they had just opened.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll tell you, man, that biocharger is fantastic. And they have like these electromagnetic pulsing mats that the astronauts use to cure the bad blood that they get from outer space. So when they come back to Earth,
this is
they
an
use
unbelievable
these mats.
place.
I'm telling you, these are all holistic
this is
methods.
wild.
And I really believe that more people need to go check out Osteo Strong. You're going to feel so much better.
Osteo Strong. All
They
right.
have a red light.
You love the red light.
I love the red light. And
Shout out the red
they
light.
have a World Gym too, and I love it there.
Yeah, you do. You always go in the
Yes.
little booth at World Gym. All right, so shout out Osteo Strong. Maybe Osteo Strong is the key. We just didn't know it yet. That's sounds like where we need to get on that.
What's the T said? That the youth are tired of our money going to foreign wars. 100% agree. The youth, the old people, we're all tired.
We're all in it together. We're done with the money.
Unless you stand with Ukraine.
If you stand with Ukraine, then you got to keep paying it out, brother.
Then you got
to keep footing the bill.
Like, I don't care. Let's just keep giving money to Ukraine.
Yeah, let's keep pissing it away in a losing war. Let's just light it on fire.
You know, like it's so unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, but I have to tell you another thing that I'm doing. Thanks to so I had Achilles tendon, I had hip replacement, but I'm on the mend now. I'm walking over a mile on the treadmill. I'm exercising.
Feeling good.
So next week, thank you, Yabui. Well, next week, I'm going to New York City because I'm going to walk with the Eucharist.
That's right,
From
you are.
St. Patrick's Cathedral through Times Square.
Yep.
Now, let me show you what was going on in Manhattan yesterday.
I'm a little nervous about you going, to be honest.
The anniversary of October 7th. Why are you nervous about me going?
Well, because when you see things like this, and then you see what we're going to show you next after this video, it makes you a little nervous with these people seeing a bunch of Catholics walking down the street. But let's show it. Let's go clip 2 here. So it's a little frightening. You see that group. But this video right here, I want to go right into clip 3 because this video, you would think that all of these people would be immediately put to jail and sent out of the country, especially of all places in New York City, of all places. But of course, they're roaming the streets. And this is where we'll get into Mondami as well, dog. I know you've been waiting for a little Mondami talk. But this clip right here is absolutely disgusting. Let's show clip 3.
We did not act enough. We did not act enough. We did not act enough. Repeat after me. We did not act enough. We did not act enough. If we acted enough. If we acted enough. The headline behind me would read. The headline behind me would read. Gaza has been liberated. So our work is not done. We must show up. We must show up. Stronger than we did the first October 7th. Louder than we did the first October 7th. To make it clear that we are not going anywhere. We will keep fighting until Palestine is free. From the river to the sea. Within our lifetime. Make some noise.
Brain dead idiots.
So that right there is a terrorist call. I mean, that's straight. That's straight. Like we're calling for terrorism. We're calling for Islamic terrorism right there. That's what that's 100% what that just was. Don't let anybody fool you. That's exactly what that was. He straight up said we were going to make a bigger demonstration than we did October 7th when we raped and killed a bunch of Jews. They're going to make it even bigger. Like, so that's exactly what you just saw was a call to terrorism in New York City. So it makes me nervous when you're going and you're going to have a walk with Jesus Christ, the biggest enemy of Islam. And in all honesty, there's two big religions, Islam and it's Christianity, because the Jews have already been pretty much wiped out. To be honest, we've talked about the Jewish numbers before. There's not many left. And you have Islam and Christianity, and all around the world, we talked about it last week, the Islamists are killing the Christians all around the world, everywhere. And you talked about it in Nigeria, we talked about it in the Middle East, in Syria, and in Afghanistan. They're killing the Christians all over the place. They've been doing it for a long time, but the media never covers it. So now you're going to have a giant walk with Christ from St. Patrick's Cathedral, a world-famous Catholic church, with a bunch of these people walking around the streets screaming, we will not rest until Palestine is liberated. Not a two-state solution. Liberated, meaning we eradicate the Jews in Israel to have Palestine. That's what they're saying. That's not going to twist it. Oh, equal, two state. No two state, one state. Palestine and Islam is the one state. And the Jews dead, eradicated, and gone. That's what they want. So now you're going to have the Catholics meet up with the Muslims in the middle of Manhattan, and it's going to be a disaster. Like, that's what it feels like. That's what the signs are pointing to. So it's a little nerve-wracking when you have these people last night going crazy talking about we need to have terrorism, and then we're going to have the Catholics meet up with them next week. It's scary. It's a scary situation.
Well, be not afraid. I go before you always. I'm not going to be afraid.
No, you shouldn't be.
I'm not going to be afraid, and I'm not going to let anybody stop me from professing my Catholic faith. And praising Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, and I love him so much. And Jesus says, be in the world, but not of the world. That means Christians are physically present in the world, engaging with society and daily life, but their values, beliefs, and priorities are not worldly, but rather come from God's teachings and kingdom. This involves living a life set apart from the corrupt and evil principalities of the worlds that are opposed to God's will. And instead of conforming one's mind to Christ's values and reflecting them through their words and actions.
Yeah.
So I have a spiritual calling, because I love New York City so much. And to see this really bothers me, because I grew up with a view of the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
And the World Trade Center was destroyed. And to see now, like over 20 years later, having people chant from the river to the sea, that means eliminate Israel.
Right.
That's what it means.
Eliminate Israel.
Eliminate Israel. That means, and it's like, this is happening in Manhattan. I worked in that building. That was the Fox News building. I worked there when I was pregnant with you.
Yeah.
I actually worked in that building. So I can't imagine walking out of that building and have those Palestinians protesting. I mean, it's just, but you know what? What are you going to do? I'm going to walk with Jesus Christ because he's the Prince of Peace. Yeah. And I am praying for peace, and I am praying for unity. And I believe that all of my Christian brothers and sisters, not Republicans, not Democrats, my Christian brothers and sisters will walk with me, and together we can set this country back on track. And that's what I'm praying for.
Well, that's a great prayer, Coach, because you're going into a city that is filled with all different kinds of people, and they're all voting for somebody who's in support of Sharia law. And I'm talking about Mondami here, in support of Sharia law.
He's a communist.
Is anti-gay. You have a ton of the gays in the LGBT community that is going out to vote for this guy and saying, bring him on, when he's completely anti-gay. You have a guy who says, get rid of all advanced learning in classes, take all of the kids who are excelling in academics and put them down with the regular people, because we can't have anybody excel. We need to all be equal.
And I have to tell you, I was in IGC. I know that with some of my opinions, you may not believe that. You would probably say, no way she was in an intellectually gifted children program. But I was an IGC kid. And I think that was a great program, because let's be honest, some kids, they go to school, they're not there to work. They go to school, They fool around, they're not really interested in learning, they disrupt the class, they throw the chair at the teacher. I've literally been in classes.
You know what?
What?
there are people in situations where some people are just better at other things than others. And you taking away this gift from kids that are there to learn and are academically successful and are better at learning than other kids is like taking away varsity basketball and saying you can't play varsity basketball
Just
because all the
having
kids
club.
have to be the same.
Yeah, just having like club.
You know? Like, that's what it is. It's communism at its finest. Nobody could be different. Everybody must be same.
Yeah.
No different, just same. That's what it is. That's what it is. But that's what they want. And that's why it's just so crazy that the biggest city, really the biggest city in the world, that where the financials flow through this city, everything flows through New York, and it's like we're gonna be communist in the United States of America.
And I mean, it is the greatest city in the world.
Voted in, hands down. Voted in. Like,
Well,
not
we'll
even
see.
close, just hands down. This is who we're going with. Lock it in.
Well, we'll see. We're going to have to wait and see what happens.
Like, it's really frightening. It's frightening how far the North has fallen.
It really has fallen.
The North has fallen completely. The Union, right? Yeah, the Confederates and the Union, and now it's like the Union has become the Confederates of where we're going to be. You know,
Well,
we're going to be the
true.
communist state,
That is true.
and the South is like, no, we can't be communist.
No, you know what's interesting is that they always talk about how the federal government has to be in charge of everything, and now they're against the federal government.
Right.
Now they are like all states' rights. Oh, we don't want to follow the immigration laws. We don't want to follow what the president says.
Yep.
So they are becoming. You're right about that.
That's 100%
You know?
what's happening.
We want to make sure we have trannies in the classrooms and pedos everywhere, and
Right.
we're not going to talk bad about the pedos because then we'll
Because
be
that's their
labeling
identity.
them.
That's their identity. What's wrong with their identity?
These people are demonic. Don't you see why I need to go and walk with Jesus to Times Square? Because I have to pray for this country because we don't have a chance unless we pray. Honestly, we don't have a chance unless we pray. So
Yeah.
I know it may sound, oh, Leesan, okay, but honestly, we need to pray because our lives and our country is depending on it. And we need to stop letting them divide us.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing that with the shutdown. But honestly, for people who have a brain, this shutdown should be a wake-up call for you because it is so clear. It can't be any more clear that the Democrats have decided that they would rather ensure that the illegal immigrants, the non-Americans, have all of their materials that they need rather than making sure that money goes to you. And goes to the American people, goes to the women and children, the WIC.
They steal
Like,
it.
that's what they're focused on. That's
stealing
what's
that
holding it
money.
up.
Listen, they need a lot of problems because that's how they get money and power. If all the problems went away and they weren't here to be with their little white savior complex, believe me, they'd be out of business. I'm sorry to say, but you need to have problems to employ a bunch of people to go and solve them.
Yeah.
And it's all about the money, and it's all about power, and it's all about the ruling class being in charge of the working class. And we have to stop it because Jesus says, no. I'm the one in charge. You come and you follow me. So that's what I'm going to go do next week in New York City.
That's what you're going to go do. Take it right to the Palestinians' throat right there, Coach.
I am.
That's what you got to do. From the river to the sea, from the Hudson right out.
From the Gulf of America.
Yep. And then you got to take it right to them, right on the streets.
Right to them.
Listen, guys, the country we talk about it every week, but we're in trouble. We got to keep praying. We got to keep getting out there. And like I say it all the time. Now is the time. We got to be active, guys. We got to be active. We can't just lay and show our belly anymore. You got to be active. You got to stand up for what's right. You got to promote good living, having a good following of Christ, and living the right life in God's light. That you have to. I mean, now is the time. We have to go down this path because if we don't, we're in for a really dark future.
We're not going to have a dark future because Jesus wins in the end.
A lot
It says
of
it in the
ambulances
Bible.
down the street today, huh?
Huh?
That's like the third ambulance down the street tonight. What is going on here?
I don't know what's
This is
going
unbelievable.
on.
The studio. Listen, Candace. She's coming after us. As he said, cutting people's dicks off. public dick cutting. All right, guys, great show tonight. Make sure you guys are tuning in next week. What are we gonna do? You're flying
I'm gonna
in.
be back.
You're
coming
gonna be back for the
Wednesday,
show.
yes.
All right, so we're gonna be back for the show, same time, same place. YouTube, Rumble, and X. Thank you for everybody hanging in tonight. We had a great number on X. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on the bottom. Those who are watching on Rumble, my Rumble peeps, hit that follow button, guys. I need you guys to hit that follow button. It's huge. Hit that follow button and hit the share button across the board. Make sure you guys are sharing it, getting it out to everybody you know. Spread the word, right? You got to get back to Christ. That's the main thing. Get back to Christ. Spread the word. All right? And then, guys, what do I always say? Right down below here. Follow the socials. Make sure you guys are following all of our social media accounts, sharing the shorts, liking the shorts. Make sure you guys are following us everywhere for all the content. And we'll be back same time, same place next week, next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central. Coach, any last words before we sign off here?
No, just have a great week. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about the Yankees.
You're thinking about the Yankees. We got to get to the Yankee game, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate all you guys, and we'll see you guys next week, same time, same place. Have a great weekend, everybody. Get to church. We'll see you there. Have a great night, guys.